Pollack, joined as always by the wonderful Frank Todaro. Frank, hello, sir.
Yes, Andrew, and welcome everybody to your February 28th, 2018 episode of Spam. This is the last day of February, and tomorrow begins March, the crazy March, Ides of March. Andrew, this is welcome back.
Thank you very much. Welcome back, Frank.
Yes. This is actually the first show me and you have done in 2 weeks. The last show we did together was the 7th. So
yes, you are correct.
We deprived the audience.
Yes, we have. We have, Frank.
Yeah, no,
not fair to them.
I heard. I heard your show when you did it on the 14th, and I did comment last week that I felt bad for you. You were in a little bit of a tough position because you had to talk about the Florida shooting. It's yeah, and I heard that I heard your voice and you were taking it hard, but I don't know. I don't even know what I talked about last week. I kind of blacked out. I don't remember. I listened to the replay a few times, but I'm just so tired of all this news crap. I'm really fed up with it. I'm bored. I'm bored.
Of course, we're all bored for one reason and one good reason only:
Trump, Russian, possible collusion.
Yeah, I mean it's. I'm so tired of it. I'm tired of Trump. I'm literally just tired of hearing about Trump. It's like, I don't know. Every time I see Trump, like I go into a blackout. I don't know. Not because I don't like him or anything. It's just, it's been almost like 2 long years. Like it's like I fought a war. I've been involved in a battle, and now it's finally settling down. But these idiots on the news, they're still trying to milk this, to milk the ratings from Trump. I mean, I don't even know people. It's gotten to the point we've moved into the stage that it's not so much people are paying attention or reacting. We've got to the stage where just people now, after 2 long years of 24/7, 365 propaganda and bombardment of anti-Trump, people just have their image of Trump in their head, and it's not good. It causes hate, vitriol, and then you have the other side, which they're sticking by Trump. They're glad Trump is the president, and for good reason.
Well, remember one thing, Frank, and this is what the people closest to Trump always say:
everybody gets pinched, but you did it right. You told them nothing, and they got nothing.
Yeah. Well, that's the problem. There is nothing. It's not that they got nothing. There is nothing. All this Mueller stuff is a bunch of crap. If you see the media doesn't report those real facts because then they have nothing to. Then there's no reason to go to go on anymore about this. There is nothing. This is probably what I remembered last week where I summed it up. It was about the 13 Russian trolls, whoever they were. Just setting up fake things, both anti-Trump and anti-Hillary. It turns out that that post-inaugural protest outside of Trump Plaza in February of 2017, that was set up by one of these one of the 13 Russian trolls, and it was funny to see that fat slob, that fat pig.
Don't forget about him,
Michael Moore. Well, he was the front. He was the poster boy for that protest that occurred in New York City outside the Trump Plaza in February 2017. And so it's so stupid because he unwittingly fell into the Russian trap. That whole thing, if it was whatever it was a handful of Russian trolls, whoever they were, that wanted to sow the seeds of discord between Americans. And they, guess what? They did a great job because whatever it did, everybody, it worked. But I think the biggest culprits of sowing the seeds of discord was the mainstream news.
CNN, right?
CNN. They're just horrible. I'll have a thing with them in a minute. But I mean, it's just terrible. And then this thing now, last week with the gun control, with the shooting, the Florida shooting, and the gun control. I mean, how many times do we have to go through this? It's like it's watching a bad rerun. There's a school shooting, people cry, the nation's outraged. The Democrats and liberals come out. They want to
wrong one, like that.
Yeah, they want the liberals and the Democrats. They want gun control. They want to ban guns. Then you have the other side that says you're not getting our guns, and rightfully so. Why should we change the Second Amendment? Oh, it's outdated. No, it's not. It's the principle. The right. It's a right. It's a right to bear arms.
Remember that we had one at one time.
It didn't say no, because people always say, "Oh, well, the forefathers when they wrote that they just had muskets. They just had muskets. They didn't mean for machine guns or whatever. First of all, machine guns are illegal.
So should be assault rifles.
Whatever. No, it doesn't matter. The thing is, the forefathers, trust me, those were some of the smartest people around in those days.
They didn't intend for this to happen.
No, they didn't. That's right. They wanted people to be armed. People at the school should be armed. People near the school should be armed. It shouldn't be that the schools are a soft target. It's always these people always get away with schools killing so many people at schools, in malls, in churches because there's no guns. You always hear about it a week later where there's a story where in church somebody had a gun, a concealed carry weapon, legally concealed carry weapon, and they stopped somebody from killing 10 people, or at a bank or whatever. But at schools, it's gun-free zones, and it's a gun-free zone, and then it takes 45 minutes for the police to show up. And then did you see that horrible those deputies? They were just standing outside. I don't know what they wait. What were they waiting for? They were waiting for the other cops to show up
on the day of the shooting.
Yeah, you didn't see that? Those deputies.
It was on every network.
Yeah, those deputies. People were calling for them to resign because they just stood. They didn't fulfill their oath to protect and serve. While the shooting was going on inside, they just stood outside, waiting for help. They were waiting for help. Right. So then that's the argument. So.
Cool, and then caught this moron.
Yeah, you're right. But I'm saying, instead, once you get on the scene, you're supposed to go in and try to stop and
stop it from getting worse.
Yeah, you don't wait outside waiting for more cops. What's good of you then? You're a cop. You're good.
You're a SWAT team. You're supposed to go in and confront the shooter.
These are the first deputies. These are regular cops. These are regular cops that showed up. They were the first on the scene to show up.
Then why didn't they go into the school grounds and say, "Hands in the air, like they normally do"?
No, right. That's the frustrating part, because they just stood outside, four of them, and then there's the argument that says, if these people, if the cops don't protect us, you want us to give away our guns? Listen, this is all a bunch of crap.
It's a bunch of headaches.
You cannot listen. You forget this. Whoever says this, whoever tells you, if you ever get into an argument, and it goes for the audience too, about gun control, banning guns. You tell that person all you're doing is you're advocating for a black market, a surge of the black market. If they made guns illegal tomorrow, illegal to sell, illegal to buy, what do you think would happen?
It would be like the prohibition movement in the 20s when they banned alcohol.
Gun dealers, that would be the new thing. Gun dealers, buying guns illegally. So that idea of banning guns, that's the idea of a child writing it on a piece of paper with a crayon.
If we ban the AK-47s, then there'd be a black market for it.
Well, it is banned, and there is a black market for it. You can't buy an AK-47. It's illegal. It's not even an American gun.
I don't even know how people bring it with them when they're doing a mass shooting. Then
no, the gun of choice in the mass shootings are AR-15s.
And why don't they ban them?
Because they're not assault. They're not semi-automatic weapons. I don't know how it works. They're rifles. They're not what they
Ducks.
What?
They should at least ban the bump stocks.
The bump stock is nothing. All the bump stock does, I'll look it up, okay?
Because they seriously want to ban it. They really want to do it.
I wanted to bring in Michael. By the way, I want to know what happened to that show with Michael.
Primer Time?
Yeah, what happened? I don't hear from it anymore. I don't see it around.
Because when you were off the air, I was trying to see if I can get him on as a special guest host, and guess what? He's missing in action. No one knows where Primer Time went.
Yeah, I know. But anyway, here, I'll read it right straight from Wikipedia, not that it's a reliable source. Bump fire stocks, gun stocks that are specifically designed to make bump firing easier are the varying legality in the United States. Sales are illegal in some states and several other states. The regulatory status is unclear. The bumping firing process involves bracing the rifle with the non-trigger hand, releasing the grip on the firing hand, leaving the trigger finger in its normal position in front of the trigger, pushing the rifle forward in order to apply pressure on the trigger from the finger and keeping the trigger finger stationary. During the shot, the firearm will recoil, bump back, and the trigger will reset as it normally does. Then the non-trigger hand pulls the firearm away from the body and back to the visual position, pressing the trigger against the stationary finger again, thereby firing another round when the trigger is pushed back. So I remember this. It simulates an automatic weapon, automatic fire. It's not. Listen, forget all this mumbo jumbo. That's what it is. It's all a bunch of crap. You're not going to do this. And with all this gun control stuff, we have so many gun laws already. There are a lot of gun laws. You know what the problem is? The problem is these gun laws don't get enforced. Like this idiot who shot up the school. He bought a gun legally, but look at all the missed signs. There's always missed signs. They reported this guy to the cops, the FBI.
Well, when you think of missed signs, you ever remember the video about the kid that had the gun and there were signs and that the guy's flirting with two girls and the guy just comes into the gym and starts shooting people? You ever seen that video?
Probably, but yeah. Listen, these people don't just come out of nowhere.
Video.
I read last week that this kid was reported to the FBI. They called the FBI. They just got ignored. So that's it. So why, if there should have been a background check on this kid, why was it their background check? How did this kid, which he is a kid, he was 18. 19,
he was 18, whatever. Yes.
How did he pass the background check? In Florida, things are different. Listen, and that's another thing. All these people that rely on cops to protect them, and maybe in the city, maybe if you live in a city where everything is really close together, but if you live in a rural area in the suburbs where you have land in the middle of nowhere, where literally you have to drive 5 miles or 10 miles to the nearest town before you see anybody, you're in a house all alone. It's the area is completely pitch dark, and if you have a family with kids, pets, whatever, you can't rely on the cops because God forbid some bad guys come visit your house. Even if you call the cops, it's going to take them a half hour to get to your house. And what are you going to do in a half hour, an hour to get to your house? You're going to wait there and what are you going to do? So in areas like that, you need protection for your house. You need protection for your firearm. It's not only against people; it's against animals. What if there's a wild animal? Or anything. It just doesn't matter. But anyway,
it should be at least a shotgun.
Yeah, shotgun is the best thing. They actually say a shotgun is the best gun for home defense because you don't miss with that gun. That gun, that gun is it's a great close
range. That are easily trainable.
It's a good close range gun, and when it hits its target, it's going to do damage. But anyway, so we'll just move on from that, and then I have to read again about Oprah Winfrey today. See, this is why I can't follow the news. This is this is on the Drudge Report everywhere. She's thinking of running, and she's gonna wait for God's signal to see if she's gonna run. So if God tells her to run, then she'll run. I mean, this is so stupid. Let her run. I hope she runs.
I don't think she would win the nomination.
No, of course not. Listen, well, all she has going for her is she's black and she's a woman, okay? She's a billionaire. She's a billionaire like Trump. She has no experience like Trump. But again, like I have pointed out many times, at least Trump has been
no economic experience.
Right. Yeah, Trump has been a businessman, real estate. He's Trump's whole life he's dealt with foreign leaders, foreign businessmen. His whole thing is a business. What's Oprah Winfrey done? She's in the media. She works in the media. Yeah. Okay. She is a businesswoman. She's carved out stuff, but that's different. Okay.
It's different. She hasn't dealt with foreign leaders.
Yeah, and I think Oprah Winfrey, her makeup is a little bit different than Trump. Okay, Trump is a little bit more rough around the edges. You need to be rough as a president. You see what happened with Trump. What happens the first time they attack Oprah Winfrey? What happens the first time there's a rogue country like North Korea?
I honestly expect that the Democratic nominee will be Joe Biden. All right?
Probably.
That's where I'll end it.
Good. Let him. Because as soon as they start running those creepy Joe Biden ads with him touching the kids, he's gonna lose. He's gonna lose. Like, what is that? You ever see those? You ever see those video footage of him always creeping on the kids? He's touching the kids. He's like necking the kids. Like, ugh. He's a creep.
I have not seen that. No.
Come on. Go when you get a chance, go to YouTube and type creepy Joe Biden. Creepy Joe Biden. Okay.
There's actually creepy ads?
Andrew, creepy Joe Biden. That's he's a creep. Creepy Joe Biden. Yeah, if you're
Wiener, my former congressman, he's more of a creep.
Whatever, creepy Joe. Oh, creep. Oh yeah, look, you go. If you type creepy Joe Biden, it'll come up. Creepy Uncle Joe compilation of Joe Biden being creepy. Creepy Joe Biden's greatest hits. He's like molesting kids right in front of everybody, like women. It's disgusting. It's
probably worse than sexting.
Yeah. No, worse than sexting. Look, listen. If anybody out there is watching, go on YouTube and type "creepy Uncle Joe" and just look at him. The girl is horrified. Like she doesn't know what to do. He's like really getting up close to her and like almost licking her neck. Like it's disgusting. But anyway. So
yes, come to me.
So we go from bad to really bad to libtard bad to libtard bad. Of course, what would a sporting event these days be without athletes becoming social justice warriors and libtards?
You are fake news.
Yeah. Did you watch any of the Olympics?
To be honest, with regards to the Olympics, I only watched the hockey.
Yeah.
Other than that. Maybe I saw highlights on the news, but other than that, I really wasn't in the Olympics, no.
Yeah, Winter Olympics are garbage.
I'm waiting for March Madness. That's all I'm going to say.
Right. But anyway, so the closing ceremonies, and of course, we'll have our friend Mark Dice. He'll explain the libtards. They just couldn't help it. It's on YouTube.
CNN thing today, yes.
What it is that they do. Well, not everyone, I guess. I meant everyone except for the liberals who can't enjoy anything and are always trying to ruin the fun for us normal people. Ivanka Trump and Sarah Huckabee Sanders attended the closing ceremony yesterday, of course triggering countless tweets on Twitter, like this guy who wins the gold medal for the dumbest tweet of the day, who says Ivanka Trump and Sarah Sanders are at the Olympics to represent the United States, but it doesn't make any sense. They both represent Russia. This person says a child cried after meeting Ivanka in Pyongyang because kids can sense evil in people. Of course, we should expect such tantrums from random twits on Twitter, but this guy's a professional skier and on Team USA. He tweeted a picture of the fellow American athletes and said that he's so proud of these people. Everybody here has worked so hard to make it to the Olympics and have the opportunity to walk in the closing ceremony. Well, everyone except Ivanka, honestly, what the is she doing here? This is the same athlete who, by the way, posted a picture on his Instagram of the opening ceremony and then in the caption started complaining because Mike Pence was there. You know, Gus, if I was your coach, I would encourage you to focus on skiing instead of worrying about Donald Trump's vice president in the audience at the opening ceremony. With distractions like that, it's no telling how much it's going to take away from your performance. This poor guy was so upset that Vice President Pence was there that he couldn't even focus and he fell and broke his hand. And then when he was telling everybody he broke his hand, he was still obsessing with Mike Pence. Lauren Gibbs, who won the silver medal in women's bobsled, however, demonstrated what it's like to be a true Olympian. She posted a selfie of herself along with Ivanka Trump and Sarah Huckabee Sanders. and said that it's important to remember that we don't have to agree on everything to get along, be civil to each other, and enjoy each other's company. It's for America. It was a pleasure to meet you both. You know, Lauren, you may not have won the gold medal in bobsledding, but you won the gold medal in being an American. Oh, and let's not forget about that Team USA speed skater who lost the coin toss and thus wasn't chosen to be the flag bearer during the opening ceremony and took to Twitter to complain about it, that it was racist and dishonorable. And he felt that he should have just been chosen and given the honor because he's black and February's Black History Month. Apparently, the athletes themselves vote for who they want to be the flag bearer, and it came down to a tie between him and someone else, so they flipped a coin, and he lost, and that's racist. He then, probably upon the urging of his coach, put his Twitter account on private so that people couldn't go and look through what other kinds of other crazy stuff he's posted. Oh, and this reminds me, during the 2016 Summer Olympics, Team USA voted that Michael Phelps should be the flag bearer, since he never had been before, and CNN's Camus Bell was upset and wanted him to turn over the honor to the black Muslim woman who was on the fencing team because, well, she's black and a Muslim. Oh, and speaking of sports, this transgender man who's been taking testosterone injections just won for the second year in a row the Texas Girls High School Wrestling title. Yes, take a look at it. This person is on the girls' wrestling team. Imagine, if you will, that a man is in a car accident in the 1960s and in a coma until 2018. Now, try to convince him he's still on planet Earth. That's from a meme
That's good.
Unbelievable. He's right. It's like we woke up on a different planet. It's ridiculous. I don't know. I don't know what the future's gonna bring. It's just it's going from bad to worse. And then all this is now. Andrew, did you see the movie Black Panther?
I actually saw it last weekend, and I enjoyed it.
Okay, good. Was it the greatest movie ever made?
Well, I think that's an understatement. No. I still think E.T. is.
That's not an understatement. That's an overstatement. You think E.T.'s the greatest movie
overstatement.
You think E.T.'s the greatest movie ever made?
Yes.
Why?
Because the whole movie made sense.
What made sense about it? What touched you about E.T.? Well, listen, I remember when I was a little kid, that movie came out, and you had to wait days to go see the movie because it was always sold out.
Well, all I liked is that Elliot and E.T. got along very well, and it was an interesting plot twist towards the end.
You felt, I still have never seen that movie.
You've never seen E.T.?
No, I played the video game on Atari 2600, which was
which is the worst.
Yeah, they say that's the worst. They voted that the worst video game of all time.
They did. Come on, they had to.
Yeah. That was a pretty horrible game.
It was the worst. Come on. Even though I never had an Atari.
I still don't even know what the hell it was about. It was about they were chasing the this CIA guy kept chasing E.T. Is this E.T., Andrew?
Thank you, Steven Spielberg.
Phone home. Fuck out of here. They got an alien. Oh my god. Anyway, so yeah. So I got upset about the Black Panther because they made a whole big deal about it. Oh, it's the first black superhero, and it's all black cast, which is it's false. Oh, that was just a marketing ploy by Marvel. And they released it on Black History Month. They waited. They held it back to release it on Black History Month. They succeeded in the media in the hype. That wasn't the first all black. That was the first black superhero movie from Marvel. You ever watch Blade? Did you ever hear about Blade? Wesley Snipes?
I think I've heard. I think I heard about it. I'm not too familiar with it.
Yes,
no.
From the 90s. Blade. Blade was a character in Marvel. He was a black vampire. He was black. He was a vampire, but he was a good vampire, or he didn't go evil, and he kills all the vampires. That's the story of Blade. It's like The Walking Dead, only with vampires, and Blade is the hero. You YouTube that. So there's been countless other black superheroes. So this was a whole bunch of crap. It was just media hype for Black Panther. And I know it broke a couple of records the first 4 days, right?
Yeah, it broke many records that Marvel set.
So far, it's made $704 million in the U.S. Is that right?
It's crazy.
Wow. So Thor. It says Thor made 800. Thor Ragnarok made 853.6. Justice League was at 657.6 million, and Captain America: Civil War so far to date was $1.132 billion. That's. And I mean, and Black Panther is like a third tier character in Marvel Universe that nobody really gives a fuck about. Nobody ever cared about it. There was just one story that really was big. That's when that tied into the first Avengers movie when the aliens invade because they want the what you call it, the vibranium.
Ah, well, that's interesting.
Yeah, that was the first. There's a cartoon movie they made in the mid 2000s. Yeah, it was a cartoon movie called The Avengers, and that was the first. That was a prelude to the first Avengers movie. They made a cartoon animated movie, and that was a plot sequel. Wakanda is where the vibranium is, and the aliens trying to infiltrate and go into Wakanda to steal the vibranium.
Well, that's an interesting development.
Yeah. So, and that's it. So I don't know. I just hate to see people just get triggered over these today over the news on Facebook. All the memes about Black Panther and it's the first black movie. Who cares? I've seen plenty of all white movies that were garbage. Why is it so special all of a sudden now? Because it's a black hero. I don't understand.
Black superhero. That could be it.
Yeah, and from what I hear about,
whenever it's culturally impacting.
Oh, it's the bullshit.
It could be an Asian guy. It could be Indian. People make a big deal about it.
It's all propaganda. People listen. No matter what the movie is, who's in the movie, it's all about the story. And entertainment is about the story. Does it have a good story? Are there good characters? That's it. And from what I read about the plot in Black Panther. It was the Wakandians. They were isolated. It goes against all the liberal narratives. They didn't want immigrants, right? They didn't want to let anybody in because they bring their problems in with them, right?
Hypocritical thing. Everyone's a hypocrite, Frank.
Right,
There's no question.
And then they didn't want to help black people around the world, right? They could have helped people around the world with the vibranium, but they chose not to. They were isolated. It was just stupid. Whatever. But it made a lot of money, and Marvel right now is a big franchise for Hollywood.
It is.
It's a goldmine. Listen, all they're doing right now is they're putting the comics to the big screen. You know, I really don't like to watch these Marvel comic movies because I've read the stories already from when I was a kid. It's nice to see on TV, but I already know like the characters and.
Well, is something interesting that I didn't know about you is that you're not really into the movies.
No, I don't like any movies. I don't like watching any movies. I can't watch any movies. To me, they're boring. Movies are boring. Like they're too predictable. Like when I was
a kid, you about The Sound of Music. You would not watch The Sound of Music.
No, whatever. I've watched old. I like the old movies, but today I can't sit down in front of the TV and watch a movie. I don't have the attention span. It's all predictable. But I've read about Black Panther since the early '80s. I remember Black Panther. Like I said, he was a third tier character in Marvel Universe. Nobody cared about, and then finally in the mid '80s, they put him on the Avengers. But anyway, I don't know. I guess we'll read the news a little bit. You have anything to talk about?
Well, just the script that you gave me.
Just the script that I gave you. Do you have a brain? Do you have anything that happened? What did you do last week?
Last week?
Yeah, you said you didn't want to do the show. You couldn't do the show because you spent the day with your family.
Yeah, I was with my parents.
Well, you want to tell the audience anything?
Frank, I just had a normal day out with my parents. All right.
So you couldn't take 1 hour to do the show.
I wasn't home.
You didn't get caught masturbating again, did you?
Oh no! It's been a whole month since the Janine incident. All right.
Oh yeah. We forgot about that. But anyway,
Gate.
What's that? What'd you say?
I think that's the name we should call it, right?
What?
Janine Gate.
Janine Gate. Yeah. Masturbation Gate. But anyway. So anyway, all right. I guess we'll read the news. I'm seriously. The news is just so boring. Boring. I mean, there's just nothing going on. It's just the same old shit. I've been saying it. How many times? Don't I say it once a show? The news is boring.
There's no question. It's the same repetitive cycle. It's a reality show. We said that earlier.
How many times did I tell you about North Korea? When they talk about North Korea, what happened with North Korea? Nothing. It's all a propaganda war. That's all it is. It's all a game. It's like wrestling. That's all it is. It's wrestling, and then they just talk. Say they cut a promo on each other, and then that's it. Nothing happens.
Basically, that's what John Cena wanted to do when he wanted to face Undertaker.
Yeah. But
come on, it's reality check.
I know, but I'm saying that's what I talk about with the politicians, with Adam Schiff. What happened? Oh yeah, that's what I talked about last week. That's what really got me. Like that was the last straw. Release the memo.
Release the memo. What's with all the noise? What's with all the noise?
Remember, in the days leading up to release the memo, the Democrats were going crazy. Trump is going to endanger national security, and then the memo comes out, and it just pretty much revealed what we all knew already. So the smart people, and then what happened? Nothing. What happened? What's going on with Hillary? I thought 2 months ago she was going to go to jail. Nothing. Nothing's happening. It's all a bunch of bullshit. It's all a bunch of bullshit, and that's everything. Everything we hear, even from the Drudge Report, whoever, it's all a bunch of bullshit. It doesn't really. It's just a game to keep us all entertained, or to keep us fighting. That's what it is.
It is. It's just a bunch of BS. No question. It's just what they want us to believe. They want us to watch this reality show, and the bad news is, if we don't watch it, we don't know what's going on in life, they claim.
Right. I remember last week, that's what I said. I said, if you just shut off your TV, shut off your social media, shut off everything, don't read a newspaper, basically like putting your head underneath the pillow for 6 months, what's going to change? Nothing. Nothing
will change.
All these things. I'm really like, I'm on the Drudge Report right now. I tried to find a good article. It's all shit. The Oscars.
It's all shit on the Drudge Report.
No, yeah, just right. There's nothing going on right now. The Oscars. That's going to come out now. Weinstein. What happened with Weinstein? This guy raped half of Hollywood. Whatever happened to him? Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. What's going on? Remember the cops in New York had a case on him. The cops in LA had a case on him. They were getting close to arresting him. And what happened? This is like months now. This is like 4 months and nothing happened to him. He went to sex rehab with drugs. Oh my!
Just lost for words.
All right. So let's get moving. Whatever. So today, now the big thing today. This was the big thing. Today, Trump held a meeting with lawmakers, and it was televised. And Trump was going back and forth across the table. He was talking to Mike Pence.
Mark Pence.
So, I don't know, whatever. The camera recorded Trump saying that he likes to take the guns first and then go through due process second. And everybody already is going crazy. The Democrats are happy. They went nuts. All of a sudden, they're Trump fans. And the Republicans now are like, oh, my God, Trump is going back on his word on on gun control. So listen, this doesn't matter. Whatever they're talking about, this is just Trump shooting off. It doesn't matter what he says. The bills has to get passed. So I'll read and you interject, Andrew. So President Trump on Wednesday voiced support for confiscating guns from certain individuals. See, and that's another thing. Nobody knows how to read anymore, Andrew. This is driving me crazy, especially on social media. People don't. I don't know what is. People read and they don't understand certain words that are in there.
Don't understand all that.
I don't know if it's the way the news reporters and writers write their sentences to confuse people, but people have to understand the words. So President Trump on Wednesday voiced support for confiscating guns from certain individuals. See, certain individuals, not everybody, certain individuals, deemed to be dangerous, even if it violates due process rights. Well, there you go. The judge will, if the bill will never pass, and if it violates due process rights, there you go. That's the end of the story right there. See, I don't have to read the story anymore. This whole thing is a bunch of BS, and all the news media did was run with this to trigger people.
I don't even know what to say anymore.
I'm saying, look, just analyze that sentence I just read.
All day.
President Trump on Wednesday voiced support. He voiced support. That means he just talked about it. He just mouthed it off.
What happens? The mainstream media and CNN and Don Lemon, who's going to be on the air in 20 minutes, is probably going to misinterpret his words.
Whatever. Or the other way around. All right, so he voiced support for confiscating guns from certain individuals. That means some individuals or specific individuals.
Give me a break with that show.
Okay, deemed to be dangerous. Okay, all right, so specific individuals that are deemed to be dangerous. So not everybody's deemed to be dangerous. Or you could turn it around and say who deems that person to be dangerous? How is that person deemed to be dangerous? So if I say, Andrew, I think you're a wacko for masturbating, I deem you dangerous. You're a dangerous person. You're irresponsible, and you shouldn't have a gun. You understand? You see how I could twist that around?
You could definitely twist that around. No
or
question.
Whatever. Or you could say, hey, Frank, you think it's funny you played stuff on the air, masturbation noises about me. I don't think you're responsible. I think you're dangerous, and you don't have the right to have a gun. So there you go. So these are words for lawmakers, and then it ends, even if it violates due process rights, which is against the law. So that'll never happen. Right there, the end of the story. See, the entertainment's over. But anyway, this is what he was quoted as saying. I like taking the guns early, like this crazy man's case that just took place in Florida. To go to court would have taken a long time, Trump said at the meeting with lawmakers on school safety and gun violence. I say take the guns first, go through due process second. Trump is responding to comments from Vice President Pence that families and local law enforcement should have more tools to report potentially dangerous individuals with weapons. I don't know how much more tools there could be. Social media, anonymous tip lines, I don't know. But
there's nothing else you can do to prevent a mass shooting, all right?
I'm saying
nothing.
I proposed this the other day. Why can't each school or the school in that district set up an anonymous hotline tip or an app, create an app, so if you think there's somebody dangerous or if you suspect something, you report it.
I already have that in development.
Oh, what were they waiting for? I don't understand.
I don't know either. I really don't have an answer.
Because Andrew, this listen, and you're a young man, and I'm not saying that I'm a know-it-all, but this is the way life works. There's an old saying: until the horse escapes from the barn, then somebody will close the door. You understand what that means? You understand that saying, that proverb, whatever it's called?
Well, what does it mean precisely?
It means if you have a barn with horses, and you don't care about you don't put an emphasis on making sure the door is secure, then after the horse leaves, then oh yeah, we're gonna put a lock on the door after all the horses ran out, and now you don't have any horses because they ran away.
Because you didn't lock the gate in the first place.
Right, you should have locked it in the first place, not wait until the horses left. So it's just like this. You don't wait until people there's mass shootings over and over and over again. Or it's not mass shootings, school shootings, And then you worry about school safety. Or what if all of a sudden now everybody's concerned about guns and school safety? Well, you should be...
Bop, 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 bop. That's all they're worried about.
Yeah, whatever. So, all right. So this is all garbage. So, and then Trump continues, allow due process, so no one's rights are trampled, but the ability to go to court, obtain an order, and then collect not only the firearms but any weapons. Pence said, "Okay, Mike, take the firearms first, and then go to court." Trump's responded. So basically, Trump's making an argument that it takes too long to go to court. In the meantime, if somebody is dangerous, they still have the guns. So while the case is in litigation, these people still have the guns. So the argument is, take the guns first, and then you have to work it out in court to get your guns back, which is, I don't know, controversial.
Well, Mike Pence is now giving a headache.
Whatever. So anyway, it says the suspected shooter, Nicholas Cruz, was able to legally purchase the AR-15.
Purchased the weapon before he went to Stoneman Douglas.
Whatever, but legally, see, he followed the laws. The people that sold him the guns allegedly followed the laws. Now, this guy, he was deemed dangerous. There, you have to fix that problem. Anyway, despite used in the shooting, despite numerous calls to law enforcement about his unstable behavior. Now, you see, like I said, what's to say if you're a legal gun owner, Andrew? What's to say I don't make calls and say Andrew he has unstable behavior? Like now, just because somebody makes an accusation about you, the cops are going to come to your door and take everything you have, and then you have to go and prove in court that you're not crazy or you have a stable behavior. That's a very, very tricky thing, but nothing will happen. This is just political theater for the politicians to show the people that, oh, look, we're trying, and so that way the people could vote for them again. It's all a bunch of crap.
I think it's all just a bunch of trash that everyone's just throwing at us.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why can't there be a couple patrol cars outside of every school or patrolling in the nearby area? Why can't there be a policeman or two policemen in the lobby of the school? See, but that's the thing. When there's police, you tell them let's put a policeman or two policemen in the lobby in the school. They say, oh no, we don't want it because then it looks like a jail. Well, you can't have it either way. You can't have it both ways. You can't.
I'm just wondering, why is everyone acting like a dummy?
I don't know, because Andrew, this is the way people are. People are reactionary. They react with emotions, and they wish they could just magically snap their fingers and make all the guns and all the bad guys and all the evil in the world disappear. Just like when they're little children, when you're having a bad dream and your mommy and daddy come in the room and go, "Oh, look, just snap your fingers." And the boogeyman will go away. And the boogeyman will disappear. Say the magic words, and the boogeyman will disappear. No, that's not the way life works. Okay, that's not the way life works. That's not the way. But unfortunately, a lot of these adults, they still think that's the way it works because they're emotionally stunted. But anyway, and then we go from that to the YouTube, which is YouTube and Twitter and social media, which is censoring people. Specifically conservatives and the right. Has your channel been affected, Andrew?
Not recently, no.
No, well, you don't really post anything controversial. You really talk about what, sports and the weather and traffic and video games.
Mostly the problems with our subways lately, which I did do 2 different mass transit videos today on the channel.
Yeah, you see, I'm talking to you. That's what YouTube wants from their
news. It's real news that no one wants to talk about.
Yeah, but that's what YouTube wants. That's what they want from their creators, and they want channels like Andrew that just talk about video games, a little bit of sports. They talk about the traffic, the news, the weather, stuff like that. That's not controversial. But if you say you can't talk about anything controversial, it's a double-edged sword because on one hand, you have people that want to get information out there, but on the other hand, you can't have just every Joe Schmo putting their opinion out there. I don't know. It's very wacky. My channel got demonetized. They starting on February 22nd, YouTube demonetized all channels that had less than 1,000 subscribers or less than 4,000 hours watched. So
I have a lot of hours watched on my channel.
4,000 hours watched?
Yeah, I have a lot.
4,000 hours. That's a lot of hours, Andrew.
Over 3 years, that's happened. Even though I only have 606 subscribers.
Yeah. So, well, you wouldn't meet the threshold. But I had a monetized channel. It started off pretty good. Then for about 8 months, 9 months. It just did nothing. I mean, and then only in the last few months I started making a couple cents. But I think in the whole year I made like $46.
Really?
Yeah, but I mean, it's hard to you have to pay to promote.
Channel for profit. I've never done that.
Yeah, but this is what you have to for each video. If you really want to promote your video, there's you go and there's a setting where you promote your video and you bid money. You could put any amount of money you want, like $1, $5, $10, and supposedly YouTube will guarantee you views. But that doesn't really do anything. You have to get the subscriptions. That's what you want, subscriptions.
I want subscribers, and I've gotten that over the years.
Subscribers, and time, and the time watched is the most important thing if you are a creator. If you create content on YouTube, but I don't know. I just don't know. It's really disheartening trying to get your videos shown. But anyway, let's read from this article. YouTube's new moderators mistakenly pull right-wing channels.
So basically now they're going after Mark Dice.
No. They said they mistake. Well, sometimes people like Mark Dice, they get their videos demonetized. They say that's the other thing. Even if you have a controversial, if you have negative words in your title, it could trip the algorithm into demonetizing your video because it's a negative.
Hasn't been using negative words on his titles.
Yeah, well, if you notice, if you pay attention to his titles, just like the one I played tonight, they couldn't help it. You see, you have to keep it really, really simple, like non-descriptive and non-confrontational. But anyway, YouTube's new moderators brought in to spot fake news, misleading, and extreme videos. Stumbled in one of their first major tests, mistakenly removing some clips and channels in the midst of a nationwide debate on gun control. The Google division said in December it would assign more than 10,000 people to moderate content after a year of scandals over fake and inappropriate content of the world's largest video site. And now there's a lot of people will freak out hearing that because there's some videos out there that are disgusting, that are bordering on pedophilia. There's those channels with the Spider-Man and like the pregnant Spider-Man. I don't know who the fuck it is. It's disgusting. Yeah, but it's like it's like pedophile shit. A lot of people are outraged by that. But of course, those stand. But if you have a controversial title, they'll take your channel down. So in the wake of the February 14th school shooting in Parkland, Florida, some YouTube moderators mistakenly removed several videos and some channels from right-wing pro-gun video producers and outlets. You notice they always make a mistake on the right-wing and the conservative channels. They never make a mistake on the left-wing liberal channels. You notice that, right? Even Twitter. Some YouTube channels recently complained about their accounts being pulled entirely. On Wednesday, the outline highlighted accounts including Titus Frost that were banned from the video site. Frost tweeted on Wednesday that a survivor of the shooting, David Hogg, is an actor. Jerome Corsi, a right-wing conspiracy website InfoWars, said on Tuesday that YouTube had taken down one of his videos and disabled his live stream. I don't know. That could be.
Here's something interesting.
What?
The NRA still has ads on YouTube.
Yeah. So what?
Well, I thought Google would pull them out.
Why? 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 Why?
And that's haven't they?
Excuse me.
Hasn't every other company like Hertz? Cut ties with the NRA.
Some companies have, and as a matter of fact, there was a. I did see an article on Drudge that says that certain companies were hurting from taking away, removing their ads from the NRA, meaning that a lot of people were complaining. I'll try to find it.
All right.
Let me see.
I don't know, because when you go on Drudge Report, you always pull up weird websites.
Oh wait, oh man, it was just right in front of my face. I can't see. All right, listen. Anyway, but that's pretty much was the gist of it. That a lot of advertisers were suffering from pulling their ads from the NRA. Oh, here it is. Okay, I got it. This is a poll. This is a poll conducted. Companies see negative responses to cutting business ties with the NRA. Polls show unfavorable ratings rose for firms that severed ties with the NRA. I'll read this. A morning consult survey of 2,201 U.S. adults conducted February 23rd to 25th found increases in negative views of businesses that severed ties with the NRA after consumers learned of them. The poll margin of error is plus or minus 2. MetLife Incorporated, the insurance giant that ended a discount for NRA members last week, had a 45% rating compared to a 12% unfavorable rating before surveying participants were informed of the move. So, see, a lot of people weren't even aware that these companies had removed their ads from the NRA. But after learning of it, respondents with an unfavorable view of the company doubled to 24%, while its favorability rating was unchanged. So a lot of people are not aware that these companies are pulling their ads. Brands are being held to a higher standard than they have been in the past. Chakravarti said, this is Mimi Chakravarti, Executive Director of Strategy at the brand consulting firm Landor. People are making decisions on the brands that they choose to affiliate with based on how brands behave. Listen, a lot of these brands are chicken shit, and they're so scared that the first sign of trouble, they pull their ads from whatever the source of the conflict is or the stress, and then later on they pay for it. But they try to play it safe than sorry, because then on the next school shooting, they could have somebody protest and say, "Oh, you're still carrying ads for the NRA." The NRA is a club. It doesn't kill people. I don't understand. Guns don't kill people. People kill people.
I'm just understanding now.
Andrew, do your parents have a car?
My dad has two.
Okay. Does your dad have to stay up at night and worry?
Four.
Okay, for your 4 cars, does your dad have to stay up and worry at night whether or not his cars are going to go out and kill people because they're drunk?
No.
So exactly, it's the same thing with a gun. If you have 4 guns in your house, are those guns going to go and kill people? No, it's the people.
Well, no. The thing is, 3 of the vehicles that he owns are running. The 4th one is in our garage.
Whatever. Okay, so 3 of the cars. It would take your dad to go on a bender and get drunk, and then go get his keys, get behind the wheel of a car, stone drunk, and then all of a sudden he gets into an accident and kills 2 people while drunk, and that would make him a drunk driver and killing 2 people. The car didn't do it. Your dad got drunk. So it's the same thing with a gun. The gun's not going to get up out of the drawer and go start shooting 12 kids. You understand?
Yeah, it's idiocracy.
Exactly. So it's just stereo. All right. So real quick, Andrew brought it up. Hope Hicks, one of President Donald Trump's longest serving, most trusted aides, is resigning from her job today as White House Communications Director. The White House announced she's leaving a day after Hicks, 29, spent 9 hours in a closed hearing of the House of Representatives Intelligence Committee on its investigation into Russian meddling in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Boring. Nothing happened. More interviews. Nothing happened. Oh, but why did she resign? She was going to resign already before that happened. It's all a bunch of crap. A one-time aide to Trump's daughter, Ivanka Trump, and with no previous experience in politics, Hicks was one of the first people hired by the then New York businessman when he began his campaign for the presidency. Aide said she had approached the president and told him she wanted to leave so she could start exploring opportunities outside of the White House. Hey, listen, guess what? Even if you work at the White House, you could quit. You could go. It's just like a regular job. A lot of people use the White House as for their resume, for credentials to go get a better job. And guess what? Most likely you will. If you worked in the White House, that looks good on your resume.
and probably Hope Hicks is probably going to end up with a better man. Just saying.
Yeah, she got caught with the Rob Parker guy, whatever. So it was time for her to go. It's whatever. So it has nothing to do with a security clearance or the people who lost their security clearance, whatever. They do reviews of the security clearance, and I don't know what the criteria is. Some people lose it, some people don't. But anyway, the last article was that Senator Dianne Feinstein.
Wait, did you hear Michael Savage wants to run against her?
Oh, I don't know. Who cares? Michael Savage is too old. He's not going to get a run for Senate. But anyway, Feinstein.
Well, read it anyway.
Feinstein is a notorious senator who loves to grab the guns. As she was quoted on a CBS talk show morning years ago, she pointed at the camera and said, if it was up to her, Mr. and Mrs. America, turn in your guns, all of them. That's what she said, and there was a meme about her.
Same thing with Pelosi. She said that for years.
Yeah. But meanwhile, these people walk around with security guards that have hand cannons in their jackets and their holsters. They all walk around with people with guns. So anyway, that was the whole thing. We're gonna wrap it up. That was the big thing today in Trump, and the piece of shit mayor from Oakland. He tips off people. He tips off the illegal aliens about ICE conducting raids. We'll get to that next week. But
Michael
anyway,
Savage talked about that today.
Yeah, real good. That's like he's warning the bad guys that the cops are coming. All right. Anyway, Andrew, do the plugs and we're out of here. Okay.
I am on Twitter at Andy's Randomness. Frank at EA's EZ34.
Okay, very good, Andrew. Great for us to be back together. We'll see you live next week, Wednesday, 8 p.m. live on UCY TV. Good night. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow. Next week.
Next week.
Tomorrow.
All right.
Good night.
Do you want to build a